let's start with 10 and see how that sounds. Alright, so that probably saves on its own. Alright, done. See if that sounds any better. Yeah, I know, okay. Unprofessional. That's me. So, I'm back live again. Get back in the truck. Alright, well, perfect. Oh, that makes me feel a little bit better. I think I needed a mental reset. You know how funny it is to hear, you streamed for 18 minutes. Setting world records here. Oh, good night. Are we working? Give me something here. Am I back? I think I am. Nice, nice. Perfect. Alright. Am I? Oh, well then find the new one for me. Alright, looks like as well as getting some better equipment, I need to get a team to help me out. Because even though there's a lot of mental capacity to put places, I can only really juggle it with so many options. So, yeah. Well, let's get the ball rolling and put these tires... Oh god, what's the trucker lingo? Lay some rubber down? Yeah, that sounds about right. Put the pedal to the metal. And, yeah, open up my front door. Sorry about that. It seems as though I'm not the only one having a different day. Seems like NVIDIA didn't know what to do with me, so it said, "Oh, you're nervous. Well, let's hit the reset button. Make you feel any better?" Well, God, here we go again. Anywho, I'm just glad I could even start this. And maybe a little guy like me can inspire somebody to be like, hey, look, this random dude, amongst all his nerves, stepped up and tried something and failed, and then got right back up and did it again. So maybe I can do something. God knows I would have needed a positive role model like that when I was in school, especially middle school. I got better, but it took a literal act of God to change me. But I guess we all need a little bit of help like that. See, there's a reason why I don't expect large crowds in the beginning. Because I'm radical. And I'm not talking about surfer boat, y'all, radical. I'm talking about the Bible says nothing's impossible, so let's figure out where we can stretch the boundaries, kind of radical. So many people will say, oh, you know, everybody's gonna die. Okay, what about Enoch and Elijah? What about the people who, through the genetic testing, have found out that there's a certain protein you can remove from the cell to allow it to infinitely reproduce itself? Because currently they're on a timer. And once they reproduce a certain amount, they quit. So, you mess with that, and all of a sudden now people have physical immortality. Really makes you scratch your head when you think about it. They say it's possible. They wanted to say that if you start, as long as you have young people, and you let their young blood run through old people's bodies, it will start refreshing them because of the proteins that is in the young person's blood that the old is not making anymore. We already have a myth about the fountain of youth and things like that's the only one I can think of right now. I bet a lot of you other mythos studiers would know different ways people became immortal. I guess in Son Wukong. No, Son Goku. The Monkey Man. He has like double immortality. Not that Goku. There's a different history Goku. You can watch him and someone else fighting in death battle. Because I can remember that because everyone makes a joke. Huh! Monkey! Because of stinking Uwe. And Kung Fu Panda. Poor Jack. I mean, yeah, Jackie Chan Jack, not Jack Black. He was fine. He barely gets any voice lines and he's hilarious. You don't think so? Go and watch the 3 Rush Hour movies. It's hilarious. And he does all his own stunts. The guy's a fighting movie genius. What are you hauling? Hauling forklifts. They apparently weigh 17.5. Now, total weight, I wouldn't be able to say off the top of my head because I'll bet you this is a 10-ton truck. It might have, I can check its statistics, because if it has over 240 gallons of fuel, it'll have more than 1,600 pounds added to it in fuel when it's full. Then you have the weight of the trailer, which, I don't remember off the top of my head what the weight of flatbed trailers are, but if I had to guess, I'm probably under 60,000 pounds. But, guys, this is a pretty good looking truck. I didn't think I'd like Lone Star. But, out of all the brands, it's not the worst. Now, it's not the best in my opinion, but opinions are like noses. Everybody's got one, but you don't always want to be sticking them in people's faces. So, besides, opinions are a dime a dozen, and not even worth my 2 cents. But I will say, it was worth the money to get this trucking simulator. If for nothing else than giving me a general idea of what it's like in a trucker's life, especially all that stinking traffic. I will say no, I will mention nothing specific, but there are always examples. Also, if this were real trucking, I could get in trouble for being in the left lane all the time. Commercial vehicles aren't supposed to ride in the left lane, which is why that guy's smart. And he's in the right lane, which is the right lane to be in. What is my preference? Oh, I have a truck that's my preference. It's the newest one they added in their free add-ons, the Western Star 57X. Now, it's probably just a fancy Freightliner Cascadia, but I like the truck. So, I'm probably going to get back in it after I pull this load, because this game's so easy. I've gotten 26 drivers now, and that, with the game's crazy amount of money that it gives you when it's, well, not being restricted by mods, makes it to where you can just buy a truck, drive it, put a driver in it, buy another truck, put a driver in it, and just go back and forth like that. It's fun. But that's all background stuff. I mean, I wouldn't even care about the trucks. You start off with this game and you just literally have to drive other people's trucks until you can afford your own. So, I got a good taste in vehicles. Why did I start? Oh, okay. So why I started is just because I knew I wanted to do something with people. Because I like people. I know. That probably sounds a bit weird. Why'd you like people? Why would you like people? Most people can make that quote from Men in Black about how a person is fine and people are dumb, ignorant, I don't know what else, but I can add fidgety to the list. Easily scared, but I like people. And having a bit of interaction online isn't a bad thing. Now, there's some differences between dealing with real people and online, but hey, it's always something. Plus, I kind of wanted to give back. I did mention earlier that my dad's a truck driver, and I have fond memories of, well, for a short load and sleeping in the back of his truck, because he had a sleeper like this, but not this. He didn't drive an International. He calls it a 13 level room spread. But I would ride in his bed and he would drive, and this noise right here, I'm going to be quiet so you can get a good listen to it. The low hum of that engine is the perfect white noise. Plus the truck moving on all the bumps, if you can imagine. It's like a automatic rocker. And so with that, it was so easy to fall asleep at night, listening to him leave the house. Because I'd always stay up late, well, typical teenager fashion, playing games, doing stuff. But whenever I'd hear his truck leave, I know it's probably late in the night, and I need to go to bed if I'm going to be any kind of coherent for class the next day, or band. So, I always used his truck as a way to tell my body, hey, time for sleep. And so now, I hopped on this game and pulled a couple of loads in the middle of the night, and I realized, yep, you put on a headset, put this on in the background, and it'd be easy to get people to fall asleep. So, I thought I'd do that. Be able to eventually just have people pop in, and even if they don't stay long, just enough to get their brains in the place of, oh yeah, it's sleepy time, and then log off and go to bed. I'd be okay with that. Just give it back. Because you're never the only one struggling with something. And I know what it's like to be at bed early, under the covers, closed eyes, lights off, everything's quiet, but your mind's still going. And so you think, no, I need to focus on something else. I need to create a blank space. And that doesn't work. Because that little screen in the back of your head, called your imagination, will pop something up in the middle of you focusing on your blackness of space, or canoe in the river, whatever people on YouTube want to try to say to get you in a sleepful state. And so I thought it's just easier to put something on in the background. Now me, when I was in high school, and even out of high school, I could listen to people playing American Trucking Simulator even back then, and just put that on in the background, and I'll start to fall asleep. And sure, there are enough videos out there that you can watch tons of different people. Peanut, for one, he's got a nice series on ATS with a realistic economy. You want to talk about shortening a real trucker's job? That gives you a point to it. But my dad did make a good point. This doesn't give you the struggle of being a real trucker. And to me, that's a positive. I don't have to worry about random blowouts, parts randomly not working. Okay, I do have to worry about fuel. And if I had the sleep meter on, I'd have to worry about sleep. But that's not the point of having a game like this. This is to take something that's cool in one sense, but oh, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, you didn't even have a blinker on and you just tapped my trailer and cost me money? If I were a spiteful man, I would turn this truck around and back you into a wall. But somebody has to give mercy in a world like ours, and I choose to be one of them. And that brings to another good point of why it's nice to drive in a simulator, not in real life. I've been in an accident. I know the procedures of having to wait for a cop to get there, to take his, take the two witness records of who hit what, and try to figure out why and whose fault. And for that, it just automatically takes money out of my account. It's not like I'm going to get that back in the next couple of minutes when my drivers finish a load. So I can just brush it off and keep going. No loss of momentum. That's pretty nice. said, I can take corners at unreasonable speeds and not have to worry about flipping the trailer because I left the game in its base settings. Now, sure, eventually it would be funny to see what the limits are, but I'm not doing that right now. The thing is, I like the trucks that I drive. Including this one. Even though I don't think I picked a good color scheme, but it's not bad. To each their own. There may be somebody that looks at this and says, wow, I want that truck in real life. Cool, all the power to you. If you really wanted it that bad, you could have it. So, for me, I know I'm just going to drive this truck and then give it off to another driver. You can get back in my truck, take a load somewhere. And then if I get bored of that truck, I'll just buy another one, take another load. And then once I'm finished with that load, put another driver in it. Because that's the beauty of it. That's a good reason for simulators to be popular. You can take the hassle out of the real job. Now, I've heard there's even a construction simulator. And that's not a bad idea, but I'll stick to this. What's up, bro? Big Florida man. Hey, fellow Floridian, what's up? Wait, are you the same kind of Florida man that would wrestle an alligator just for its tail? There are some people, I don't know if they're on crack or meth or what, but there's not a way in the world without a gun I'd get within 5 feet of a large alligator. There ain't no way. I've been to an alligator farm. They have one down in St. Augustine. Well, used to. I don't know if it's still there or not. But there is not a way in the world you're going to get me close to a gator. Now, I get that Steve Irwin is... They can't handle it. Undoubtedly. Yeah. I'll bet so, man. You're just a modern-day Hercules, aren't you? You're going to go in there and wrestle that gator like he wrestled that indestructible boar. Was it a boar? Was it a lion? Stay in the lane. Because we all have a godlike power within our grasp at some point. All of us. I mean, here's a funny time in... Let's start with junior high. Dodgeball. This is like the setup to an anime main protagonist's episode 1. Everybody's lined up in dodgeball. Some people go to one side, some to the other. I'm on the far end, next to where the boys' locker room is. And people are slowly getting out, left and right, and it's me and a couple others versus a couple others on the other side. And I go and walk up to get a ball, somebody screams to go and look, and before a normal person would be able to react, I look up, I drop the ball I'm holding, I catch the ball that was 5 feet from my head in my shoulder and pointed at the person who threw it, and they were out. And from that point, I just didn't even care, because I had shown my godlike potential. And everybody's done that at some point. I'll show Mike Tyson his, but yeah, you go right on ahead. Dodgeball's good. Yeah, yes, it absolutely is. Though they shouldn't have got rid of the rubber balls, because some people, they need a decent decking in the face by that ball. Plonk! That's my favorite noise. God, see, if I ever got to the point where I'm as popular as some guys, awaken to power of the MC. We all have it. We're all kind of the MCs in our own stories. And we get to be the side characters in other people's stories. It's a bit of spice of life. And that's the whole thing I like about, you take the religion out of godliness. There's a creator out there, and he's so funny, he put me, at this time, to do things like catch ice thrown at my face from 4 feet away, in my mouth, when I wasn't even looking. Universal. That's one of my fondest memories of being in chorus. Yeah, band and chorus. That's the type of geek I was. So, yeah, I do a little bit of music here and there. But that's that's for a whole nother topic. I'll have to start upgrading my setup, which I will do, before we can start playing musical karaoke. But we all have those moments. I guarantee. You're only in chorus? Hey, that's fine. You don't have to be in both. You just do what you can. If you have other curriculums that you want to keep in your back pocket, yeah, back pocket. You keep in your back pocket, then go ahead. I mean, what do you play? Oh, I play piano, I play drums, I play the bass guitar. Trying to learn the acoustic, a little tough. Fingers are a little sensitive. Dirty piano hands will do that to you. Oh, in high school. In high school, I played, well, it was percussion in the band. So all of the concert percussion. And, well, I did cymbals for 2 years because somebody had to be that guy. And then toms for the next 2. Let's go piano. Yeah. Piano's really just a great instrument. There's so much potential to be done, and I still love looking at the videos of multiple people playing one piano. That would be the dream. Travel and play music with people, do little karaoke nights. I think that's how I convinced my parents to score us a cruise. I played in front of them, and they're like, "Oh, come on, play us some more." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that right now. I told you one, we're doing one." And so Dad said, "If you'll play one song a night, then we'll get us a 5-day cruise." So I shook his hand on that. It's easy enough to play. I'm also like, cool. Yeah, but don't expect it to be fast. In fact, enjoy the journey. I'd sometimes say the slower the better. Some funny Rascal Flatts song, "Life is a Highway." No, it's not. It's a 2-lane detour that sometimes puts you on the highways, and other times puts you right in the middle of busy city red lights.